Hello guys, today I want to share with you the all-in-one guide for learning programming language if you are a beginner.
So, programming. It's this word that literally powers our entire digital world. But, for a lot of us, it feels super intimidating, kind of like a secret language only a few people get to speak. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're going to take the beginner's journey and decode this whole thing one simple step at a time.
Yeah, have you ever really stopped to think about how they actually work? The apps you use every single day. Spotify, Google Maps, your banking app. It all just feels like magic, doesn't it? But behind every single tap, every swipe, there's a set of instructions, a very special language. And yep, you guessed it, that language is code.
So, what even is a programming language? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's just a way for us humans to talk to computers. Instead of us having to speak in all those ones and zeros, which, let's be real, would be impossible, we use languages like Python or JavaScript to tell them exactly what we want them to do. They are, and this is no exaggeration, the absolute foundation of everything you see on a screen. Okay, now here's the really cool part. Even though there are literally hundreds of these different languages out there, they all kind of share a few core universal ideas. It's like a secret grammar. And once you get these key concepts, you can pretty much understand the basics of almost any programming language. All right, first up is something called a variable. Now, I know it sounds a little technical, but trust me, it's incredibly simple. Just picture a labeled box. Seriously, that's it. You could label a box user age and pop the number 25 inside. Then later on, you can peek inside the box to see what's there or even swap out the 25 for a new number. That's a variable, just a box for holding stuff.
Okay, next, let's talk about functions. Think about making a sandwich for a second. You follow a recipe, right? A specific set of steps. Well, a function is just like writing down that recipe. So instead of having to list out all the steps every single time you want a sandwich, you can just say, hey, make a sandwich. And the computer follows those instructions you already wrote down. It's all about not repeating yourself. Super efficient.
And really, the other big ideas follow that same simple logic. You've got conditionals, which are just if-then decisions. Like, if it's raining, then I'll grab an umbrella. Easy. Then you have loops, which just repeat a task over and over, kind of like putting your favorite song on repeat. And syntax? That's just the grammar, the rules that make sure the computer understands what you're saying. Okay, that is enough theory, because honestly, the absolute best way to understand what coding is all about is to actually do it. So, it's time. Let's take that very first step and write a real, actual program.
And listen, don't you worry. This is not going to be complicated at all. We're going to start with what is basically a rite of passage for every single programmer on the planet, a super simple program called Hello World.
This is going to be so easy, you won't even need to install anything. We're just going to use a free website, something like Replit. And from there, it's literally as easy as making a new file, typing just one line of code, and then clicking that big Run button. And here it is. This is the code. This little line is written in a language called Python, which, by the way, is one of the most popular and friendly languages for beginners. And all this one line does, is tell the computer, hey, just print the words Hello World on the screen. So when you hit that Run button and you see those two words appear, well, that's it. You've done it. You have officially written and run a computer program. I know it seems small, but what you've just done is huge. It's the first step. So congratulations, you're a programmer.
Okay, so where do you go from hello world, right? It can feel like you're standing at the edge of this vast unknown territory. But the good news is there's a really well-worn path that lots of people have walked before. So let's pull out the map for the road ahead. So I like to break the journey down into 3 big stages. For the first few months, you're basically the explorer. You're just learning the fundamentals, building little things. Then you become the apprentice. This is where you start to specialize a bit, maybe build your very first real application. And finally, you become the practitioner. This is where you learn how the pros do it and build a real portfolio. Just remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but there is a clear path.
But why? Why learn all of this? What's the actual payoff in the real world? Well, it's all about being able to build things that actually matter. So let's take a look at the incredible power you can have with these skills. We are talking way beyond Hello World here. With a language like Python, you could be building systems that manage smart energy grids. With JavaScript, you could create those amazing interactive maps you see online. You could build the next big car rental app for your phone with Swift or Kotlin. It's literally about taking an idea in your head and making it real. All right, to wrap things up, let's talk about what I think is the single most important part of this entire journey. And it's not about memorizing code. It's about learning a whole new way of thinking.
And let's start by busting the biggest myth in all of programming. You know, the one that stops so many people before they even start.
And the reality is, no. Just no. You absolutely do not need to be a math genius. For most of the programming you'll do, like building websites and apps, it's all about logical thinking. Being a good problem solver is the real superpower here, not advanced math.
Okay, how about this one? This is another huge misconception. Do you have to memorize, like, every single command and all the syntax?
Heck no. Absolutely not. No professional programmer has everything memorized. It's impossible. The real skill is understanding the big ideas, the concepts like variables and loops, and then just being good at looking up the specific details when you need them. Seriously, learning how to find answers is way more valuable than trying to memorize everything.
So, with that in mind, what's the right way to go about this? Well, let's do a quick rundown. The do's. You absolutely want to practice consistently, and you have to build your own projects. And learning how to fix things when they break, that's called debugging, is crucial. Now the don'ts. Please, don't get stuck just watching endless tutorials. Don't compare yourself to others. And whatever you do, don't be afraid to break things. That's literally how you learn.
And hey, here's a fantastic pro tip that'll save you a ton of headaches. It's called the 20-minute rule. If you get stuck on a problem, give it your absolute best focused effort for 20 minutes. But if you're still stuck after this 20 minutes, it's time to ask for help. This little rule is amazing because it makes sure you try for yourself, but it stops you from wasting hours feeling frustrated.
So, that's the journey. You've seen the basic building blocks, you've seen the roadmap for the future, and you've got the mindset. You've even taken that huge first step and seen how to write your very first program. The map is in your hands now. The path is clear. So really, there's only one question left to ask, and it's for you. What problem will you choose to solve first?